Welcome to Live Wire, a podcast powered by Kosciuszko REMC. We are a member-owned and locally operated cooperative that supplies electricity to portions of Kosciuszko, Fulton, Wabash, and Whitley counties here in northern Indiana. Live Wire is a program where we come together to discuss co-op matters, energy, community topics, and to communicate with KREMC members. I'm your host, Andrea Melton. Welcome back to Live Wire. I'm really excited today. Joining us in the studio for the podcast are two of our exceptional lead linemen. I have Justin Jones and Shane Henderson. Justin and Shane are not just experts in their field, they are the backbone of our operations here at KREMC. They ensure that our community receives reliable and safe electric service every single day. Guys, thank you so much, both of you, for taking the time to be here today. We're excited to hear from you and learn more about the vital work you do.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Let's start with Shane. Do you just want to tell me a little bit about yourself and maybe what led you to becoming a lineman at KREMC years ago?
Well, I've been here 20 years, and so has Justin, and kind of fell into this job. Applied, was doing some things with some fields I didn't really want to do for my life, and then kind of fell into this. So 20 years kind of went pretty fast. So
it was an accidental career almost.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you always hear about utilities being a very good, loyal job. So it was a good fit.
Absolutely. And what about you, Justin?
Yeah, same thing, really. I did other things, and it wasn't my path that I wanted, and applied here and got in, and here I am 21 years later.
Awesome. So you both started around the same time then?
Yep,
He's got me.
by a little bit.
Yep, 10 months.
I think, yeah, something like that.
Just barely got the edge. Walk us through a typical day as a lineman at KREMC. What time does your day start, and what are like the first tasks you tackle during the day?
Well, we start at 7 a.m. if there's no outages or anything, but then we come in and see what jobs we have and look at them and see if we need load poles or what kind of hardware for the poles, transformers. It could be a wide variety of things that we need for the day.
I'm sure every day is very different.
Yep, it can be.
Mm-hmm.
I know that your job involves both routine tasks, but also unexpected challenges, of course. Would you like to share a more challenging or memorable moment you've experienced while out in the field? I know after a couple of decades, there have been many. What stands out maybe in your mind as extra memorable?
Well, the broken poles are always memorable because, there could be people trapped or, fatalities. And so not necessarily want to remember those, but
Right.
Those are the ones that stick out. But we've had a lot of good laughs. We got a good bunch of guys that over the past, 20 years, we've had a lot of good times out in the field. So, there's a lot of things that you could say are memorable, some good, some bad. But
Right.
Yep.
So people maybe think of police officers, firefighters. They associate that automatically with the chance of encountering something like a horrible accident, a fatality. And they might not think, when you think linemen, that might not be the first thought that comes to mind in that way, but you guys do encounter those serious situations and have to be ready for that at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, you just never know. I mean, when you get called out on call, you really never know. I mean, the way they word, the calls that come into dispatch, it may not seem serious in the text that you get, but when you get there, it's extremely serious, and vice versa. It may be something you're trying to get to because you think it's pressing, and it's really nothing, and you just never know. So,
tell me about some of the training that someone goes through, and maybe a little bit. I know we have lead linemen and apprentice linemen. What does that structure look like when it comes to your job and the training and how you got to where you were?
Well, we start off as a groundsman normally, and then they see if we're able to move on to be an apprentice, which is a 4-year apprenticeship program. And then if you graduate from there, then you become a lineman, and then hope that you can become a lead lineman one day.
And how long does it take to get to the point where you're considered a lineman and not an apprentice anymore? Like, how long is that education, that training?
It's 4 years. The actual apprenticeship is. Then when you graduate that 4th year, then you become a lineman.
Okay.
And yeah, you come out of it with a associate's degree through Ivy Tech as well. So that transfers as a block if you ever want to go back. So that's kind of nice little addition to your journeyman's card.
Absolutely. Very cool. Is there anything about your job as a lineman that maybe would surprise someone who was unfamiliar?
I think a lot of people think that our wire is insulated,
Okay.
and it's bare, so it's not.
Right?
So I think that's a shock to some people that don't know anything different.
Yeah, and a lot of people think the voltage is low up there on the power lines, and when you tell them that's thousands of volts, it's like it's always a shock to some people. But
Yeah. No pun intended.
no.
Yeah.
Share with me, we've talked about the seriousness and some of the sad or negative crisis kind of situations you guys might encounter and have encountered. What are some of your maybe positive memories about your tenure here? A happy moment, a successful job, something that stands out in that way, in a good way.
Well, we've been out on a lot of holidays, right? And
Yeah.
Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day, when you go out and get a bunch of people back on, you usually hear the hoops and hollers.
Yeah.
And,
Like Jellystone,
yeah, and
especially.
it makes you feel like you've helped them people, and for the 99% of them, they're always very appreciative, and you feel like you're doing a community service, because people's electricity is something you can't live without. So
Absolutely. We might have some younger listeners or people who are interested in a career as a lineman. What advice would you give them, or what would you tell them about the career, or what their steps should be if that's something they might be interested in the future, if we're talking about high school or college days, younger guys and girls?
Work ethic is a big one, and you can't be afraid to get your hands a little dirty from time to time.
And sometimes really dirty.
Yes.
Probably.
yeah, you just never know when you may be working, storms and car wrecks and whatever. So it's kind of you just have to be knowing up front that you may not be to your kid's birthday, or, it's just one of those jobs that requires your time and effort and sacrifice for sure.
And your family's sacrifice as well.
Yes.
That's right. But I mean, at the same time, it's a very rewarding job, and not, if you think about it, not very many people in the world can do, what we do, other than the ones that, chose this path. So
Absolutely. Have you seen any changes in your work when it comes to the transmission, distribution of electricity? Have there been changes over the past 20 years that are noticeable?
Well, the system's been upgraded for sure. And back in the day when we started here, we had big 4x4 foot paper maps, and we had a 50-page book with dots in it. That's how we'd find places. And now, we have a mapping system that is on the iPad or whatever, the tablets, and so that's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And
that part's changed the most, I would say.
yeah, big time. And then the automatic meter reading, or the AMI system, is really nice because you can really get a lot of information at your fingertips, whereas before you had to go out on site to know what's going on. So yeah, the industry's changed a bunch. Tools have been improved, and trucks are better, and everything's better, seems like.
It makes sense.
Yep.
Let's see. Is there anything else that you would like for our members, or just the community in general, to know, that you would like them to know about your job?
I mean, when we have power outages, I think some people also think that we just go turn a switch on and then their power's back on. But we have to drive all the wires out and see where the problem actually was, and then repair it, and then go back and to our breaker and turn that on. But
Yes, it takes time.
it does take time.
Yeah, and then just because you don't see the problem at your house doesn't it doesn't mean there's not a problem down the road that you don't know about. There could be poles down, trees down, and if we don't run the line out to make sure everything's good, we don't want to hurt somebody, or so it's a time.
Yep.
It takes time and experience. So, yeah, be patient with us because we work hard to get it back on for sure.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I think that covers everything I really wanted to touch upon, unless there's anything else you'd like to share.
I don't think I have anything else.
No.
Awesome. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to come in and talk with us. I've been hoping to have a couple of our line workers on the podcast. I know rarely do we here in the office see you, and you're out in the field and busy, but I appreciate taking the time on the rainy day to be on Live Wire.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for giving us the time. Yeah.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too.
You've been listening to Live Wire, the official podcast of Kosciuszko REMC. To learn more about KREMC, visit our website, kremc.com, and follow us on social media. Thanks for listening.